A&E Network and WWE Studios are giving fans an exclusive look behind the curtain in an all-new Sunday night programming partnership which begins airing April 18th. WWE unprecedented access to WWE's archive. The 10-week programming block features 8 original 2-hour documentaries under the award-winning Biography banner, showcasing the stories behind some of the most memorable WWE superstars of all time, including this man, a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer, Booker T. Thank you so much, Booker. Hey, what was it like doing this documentary and just really delving into your life?
Man, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of serious, you know. You know, when you do movies, it was kind of like that, you know, when you having to really, you know, work really hard for the camera, make the thing come alive as well. It's a documentary, of course, about my life and my story, but you still want it to be entertaining and fun for the fans at the same time. So we definitely tried to give a little bit of both sides, but it was exciting. More important than anything, for me to actually do something like this, to be mentioned, you know, with the names that's involved with this, from, you know, Macho Man, Savage, you know, Bret, Hitman, Hart, Ultimate Warrior, you know, Shawn Michaels, you know, just those names make me say, wow, man, I really did something pretty cool.
Yeah, the list of names is just incredible. And Mick Foley's on there, Ultimate Warrior as well. And when you're doing something like this, does it make you reflect more about what you've been through, the ups and downs?
Yeah, I think you forget about that kind of stuff. For me, I did. I kind of like totally erased that side of my life from my brain. It totally went away until we actually was walking down the street, seeing those sights from, you know, back in the day, me picturing it when it was dark, you know, and it was alive, you know. It was just, it was amazing. That part of my life, seeing it as a kid, and now, you know, reminiscing it as an adult, talking to young kids about that lifestyle and not trying to glamorize it at the same time, to let them know that, you know, this is not what you want. You know, I talk to my students a lot. They always say, man, what should I do? And I always say, no, it's what you should not do. You know, so that's what's really cool about this.
And you're talking about your students, and in the documentary, you do obviously touch on Reality of Wrestling, which is a training center and also a wrestling show company that you have started. And you and Sharmell, the Queen Sharmell, are very involved with that. And it shows that in the documentary as well. How important, too, was it just not only to show the lows, but also the highs and the good points, and just give the whole perspective?
No, that's the beauty of the documentary, being able to show the lows and to talk about how you can, you know, bounce back from it, how you can redeem yourself, and, you know, try to help somebody else at the same time. You know, for me, going through those situations and then finding myself in a position where someone helped me, and, you know, the only thing that one person wanted was for me to pay it forward and, you know, give back when I was in that position, if I was ever in that position. And for me, that's really, really easy. It's really easy for me to do so, having Reality of Wrestling, and that to have a sanctuary where young people can come and be a part of something. They can come and get, you know, advice. You know, sometimes the advice is gonna be hard. You know, sometimes, you know, they may not want to hear it, but it's gonna be something that's gonna be for, you know, their benefit. And a lot of times, you know, as young people, you know, we need someone, you know, to pat us on the back and tell us when we're doing good, and we need someone to, you know, kick us in the butt and tell us when we need to straighten up. At the same time, so for me to have that platform, you know, from what I've gone through and me going through it, them seeing that, and they say, man, the book went through it. You know, what can I say? You know what I mean? I'm going to listen. So it's pretty cool being
Well, the new biography specials on WWE Icons, Legends, Hall of Famers are helmed by some of the industry's top directors and storytellers to chronicle the successes, the highs and lows of the WWE legends. And it's going to be premiering April 18th, and it'll run each Sunday night on A&E. Booker, how did you feel about the finished product? Because the process, there's a lot of filming, there's a lot of stuff going on. What were your thoughts when you finally saw the end product?
I was really nervous before I saw it, but George Roy, he's phenomenal at storytelling and making people feel what they're watching on screen, and that's what I took away from it more than anything else. I was really impressed with everything, the story, the rawness of it, the realness of it, and then to bring it all around to make you feel a certain way when the credits are going up. Say, wow, I want to watch it again. You know, that's what this story is about. This is the story that you could take in any one of the ghettos, you know, in Chicago, and show those kids that's going through some of the same thing that Booker T went through, and they go, wow, man, I didn't know he went through this, and I could do it too. So it's a story to say, you know, if Booker did it, man, I could do it too.
And it's interesting because through those low points and just growing up, that you were able to find a path, a direction. And in watching the documentary, Stevie Ray, a lot of credit to him. There were other people, Bruce, your former boss, that helped you out in your beginnings of your wrestling career. Were those the people, were there other people too that really just helped you when it was time just to make this turn?
Yeah, I mean, those guys, they helped me out a whole lot, but at the end of the day, I had to help myself out. I had to, you know, I could, you know, blame anyone for my mistakes that I made for getting locked up. I couldn't blame my mother, you know, for not being, you know, being there on 24/7 basis, because I know she had to work for, you know, from 11 at night to 7 in the morning. I couldn't blame my dad for, you know, having a stroke, you know, and leaving the family. I had to draw inspiration from every, you know, thing that happened to me, like my father passing and me having a photo of him that gave me strength. You know, my mother may have been working from 11 to 7, you know, every night, but she instilled those values in me. Please, thank you, yes, ma'am, no, sir, they're going to take you so far in life. You know, so my brother, you know, telling me, hey, I'm going to have to get a job, but no matter what that job is, taking dishes, washing, you know, windows, you know, washing dishes, whatever it is, do it to the best of your ability till something better come along. You know, Bruce telling me, hey, I'm going to help you, but, you know, when you're in that position, you know, pay it forward, help someone else out. All of those things, you know, shaped me and, you know, were a big part of me having success, but I had to believe in, you know, myself, you know, in order for any of that to happen.
And it did happen, and it's just an amazing story and just incredible, and it touches so many things. And some of the lighter things, such as G.I. Bro and how that started, the Spinaroonie. And I didn't know this, I learned this. You're a fan of Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah.
Country music icons, Brooks and Dunn. It was funny because the Harlem Heat outfits, and that's where the inspiration came from, was Brooks and Dunn. So I've got to ask, do you follow their music at all?
Oh, man. I wish I did, man. They definitely was an inspiration. I was, like I said, they definitely put me on the right track. I was looking for some plays, and I remember these two country guys having these plays. And I actually went into the country, store, country food store. You know, they had clothes and everything. This was perfect. And I was always one that was thinking. I used to sew my own clothes. I used to make my own, you know, jeans with bell bottoms and straight legs. You know, back in the day when Holy jeans were out. You know, in the stores. I did that well before they were in the stores. And I used to cut my shirts and put safety pins in them. So I was always trying to think of something innovative and just be out there. Man, it was perfect. I got it tailored. It worked for us.
Booker T, a man of many hats, and now fashion designer too. I didn't know this. Could we see a Booker T line someday?
Hey man, if you notice my gear, man, all of my suits are made to my vision. Everything that I try to put out there, it's kind of unique. So definitely, you see a clothing line coming out sometime, in the future for Booker T. And I tell you, you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it.
Everybody loved the music for Harlem Heat, and that's also in the documentary. It was just so cool. When it first came out, were you right away like, yeah, this is good, I like this?
I tell you, when we first, we went through a different, a lot of different music when we was coming up for Harlem Heat music, and I talked to young people about this as well, as far as the way you looked at the beginning of your careers, the way you're going to be looked at the end of your career. You got to think about, having a championship name. The music that you come out to is something very, very important because, you want everybody to be a part of it. And most black acts came out with rap music. And my brother and I, that's the one thing we did not want to do, was come out with rap music. We wanted something that was going to be, liking to everyone's appeal. And everyone was going to feel something when they heard that Harlem music. And I tell you, it was the right music because, from day one, the WCW career to this day, I'm still representing that music, and it's the best music in the rest of the business, I think.
Well, we also learned, and we're going to wrap this up, and thank you so much, Booker T. We also learned about who does the worst Spinaroonie. No Don Jardine alerts. I'm not going to give that away. But what I wanted to know, Booker, who does the second best Spinaroonie?
Second best Spinaroonie, I hate giving props to him, but Diva and Dudley at one point, before he became a super heavyweight.
Yes. And
He could do a pretty good Spinaroonie.
oh, it's great.
He's going to kill me for that. He's good people. He's good friend.
Oh, that's great. That is so great. And then lastly, WrestleMania is coming up, and I'm just wondering, will there be any involvement? Will Booker T be involved in anything that you know of, even panels or anything like that for this WrestleMania?
Well, I'm going to be on the panel, and I'm going to be doing a special guest commentary on one of the matches at WrestleMania as well. So I don't want to give it away yet what match, but you know what? It's crazy. This many years later, I'm still a part of the crew. I'm still having so much fun representing, my generation. But now watching this new generation and trying to pass on and instill a little bit some of what we did back in the day. But just being a part of it, man, I get such a rush out of doing this job. Hopefully I'll be doing it for a long time. But the documentary, there again, it's going to be awesome to be a part of those names. For me, was the game plan from day one to go down. And I hope all young people that get into this and think that way, think big, think legendary when you get this business, because to finish it the right way, man, is so freaking gratifying for me, and I'm sure it will be for those young guys too, for their names to go down in history with the greatest names of the business. And hopefully everybody check out the documentary, Booker T, and they enjoy it a whole lot. And give me some feedback. Let me know how you like it.
A&E Network, WWE Studios, Biography series, WWE Legends, beginning April 18th. Will be every Sunday night. It is awesome. And who knows, Booker, as we close, we wrap this up, who knows, maybe we could see an editor's cut, or maybe we could see a second documentary, and we'll finally get to see what the Bad Bunny dance from Booker T was.
I tell you, man, you're definitely going to see the part two. Let's just say that. Stick around and be ready, like BG in Oakland said. on this deal because it's a ride of a lifetime.
Thank you so much, Booker T. You're the best.